Brother Parks, what's going on, man?
What's good, Bonds? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. I'm glad you're here, man. You know, you're like
Good,
a
good.
ghost, man. I know you, I know you. You know what I mean? How you
I'm not a
feeling?
ghost to you,
Good?
bro. You know how to get in touch with me at all times,
Oh,
bro.
yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, listen, you're one of the reasons why I still do what I do, man. Years ago, I sent you a record. I wasn't even making music. He was like, yo, you can work with this. And after that, I
Word.
started making music.
Yeah, no doubt. I
Word,
always
word,
liked your music, man. I still do. Your
word,
shit
man.
is
I
fire,
appreciate
man.
that, man. Appreciate that. I wanted to interview you, man, because like I said, like you're a popular music engineer, producer, and podcaster. That's what they
Uh,
say about you.
It's a
That's
lot of shit at this point, right? It's starting to add up.
yeah. And you know, sometimes you're behind the scenes on a lot of greatness.
I like to think so, yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring that to the forefront. I talk about you all the time, and I'm like, that's an amazing thing. So
Yeah, no doubt.
I wanted to bring I wanted the people let the people know where are you from? You're from New York, right?
Yeah, I'm from upstate New York. It's a city called Elmira. It's mostly known for being a prison town.
Oh yeah, I know exactly.
Um,
Yeah, I
that's
know
about
exactly.
it.
Yeah, that's where you got in the
There's
music
a
at.
couple people from there. Tommy Hilfiger is from there. What'd you say?
Yeah, that's where you got in the
Yeah,
music.
Tommy Hilfiger. You said what now? I'm sorry.
I said that's where you got in the music up there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
I know
Hip hop, all that shit. There's a little
we met
scene
up
out
in
there.
D&D, man. The great D&D. That's where we met up.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah, that was
Word. Feels like a million years ago, right?
bro.
Yeah, that should be crazy when you really think about it. It should be feeling like 20 years, and it was really not that long. It was like what it was probably 10, 12 years ago now, but
yeah,
that
but
shit
it
feels
was
like 20.
time. Being with Preem and the BET Awards. I mean, you've been in the mix,
Yeah.
man. I mean, your greatness is warranted. You put that work in, man.
I
You put that
appreciate
work
you.
in.
I definitely did.
You still work with Primo?
Yeah, I was just with him today. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
amazing.
was just with him today.
So
Yeah, that's
what is it,
family, man.
man?
So that's forever.
What keeps you going with the music? What's the drive, man? What's behind
I
it?
just love the music, man. I love music, yo. I always have. I mean, music in general, I've loved since I was the first memory I ever have is putting on a record on a turntable. You know what I'm saying? With my pops, like showing me how to work the turntable and shit. That's my very first memory in life. And then as far as hip hop, I was probably like, I mean, I listened to hip hop my whole life, obviously from like MTV and shit like that. But when I really got into it I was probably 12, 13 or something like that. And I realized that they were taking records and flipped like that's how they were making the records, and that shit blew my mind, and I just went all the way in,
Yeah,
never turned around since.
yeah, yeah. So from the D&D days, you came in there. You were engineering, right? That's where we
Yeah,
started.
I was engineering. I was interning at first, and then I quit my job and started engineering, and then met Joe and Slaughterhouse and everyone, and started doing work for them, which led to production work. I've been producing my whole life too. So not my whole life, but since I was 14 or whatever. Like I said, since I've kind of figured out how people were doing it. I
Right.
was like, my dad had crazy record collection, so I was like, oh, I could do that. So I figured it out. So I've been producing. I had a little team upstate and shit. So I was always producing, but then my first kind of placements were with Joe for sure. So I did that with Joe, became his tour DJ, became Slaughterhouse tour DJ, and then that kind of form. You spend that much time with people on the road or whatever have you. You form a bond, and that's kind of we've been there ever since.
Oh yeah. I seen the work, man. I seen your work. I remember we were working at the BET Awards, man. I remember you working there.
Yeah,
It was mixing records for me back then when you were
facts.
in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Facts.
It was good times though. I can't lie, it was good times, man. What
No doubt.
so you have your own thing now, right? Like on the music tip with Passport, right? Passport
Yeah,
gift.
yeah. Passport gift. I got a couple projects. We have him and I have. Fuck, I don't even know how many projects at this point. We put out our first project in 2017. No, it might have been 2018, and I think we have like 11 projects at this point.
Right.
So we just been rocking. Like it's dope because he's a producer and an MC, and he can sing a little bit and play keys and stuff like that, drums. So it's a perfect working combination for me because Like he'll come up with a beat idea, I'll add on to it. I'll come up with a beat idea, he'll add on to it. He'll write a hook. We can send it out to other people. He can finish it himself. I can give him an idea for a song, a concept, and he'll just boom, lock in and knock it out. It's just nice having someone that kind of it feels like your right hand. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to think. I can
Vibing.
send him a beat that's like just a rough idea, and he already knows where to take it. You know what I'm saying? Because he
That's,
produces himself. So yeah.
I checked out the new product. That new one is like out the group one that is like out of here, man. That's fire.
Yeah.
I had
And
to like
that's
catch up. That's like something that was fire. I was checking it out. That's with David Barr's Passport Gift and Rashid Chappelle, right?
yeah, man. I didn't realize until a couple years ago that you and Rashid had been cool for a
Yeah,
minute and shit.
yeah, that's my guy, man. Man,
Jersey shit, right?
we plan to work. Yeah, we plan to work on something, man. That's in the works, man.
Yeah, that's my
I
brother.
definitely got to get a beat from you, man. I ain't had no beat from you. You've mixed for me.
Oh yeah, I'll send you some. No,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
question.
Yo, you mixed some of my biggest records to date.
No doubt.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd love to, yo.
What was the inspiration behind the Christmas joint, man? Because that was like fire. Like it was a Christmas album, but yo, that is fire. Like that was like, like it was kind of weird. Like I didn't think like yo, my man Hill put me on the album, and I'm like, yo, what is that? And I seen the cover. I said, oh wow. Like
yeah, so it started. This is the fifth one we did. It started for me back. I was probably 20, 21. I was working at a bar, and it was probably the holiday season or whatever. And we had like whatever Sirius radio or whatever it was, and they were playing fucking Christmas records. And I was like, yo, there's some shit. I'm already making beats at this point. I'm like, yo, there's some shit on some of these records. But I kind of just put it on the back burner forever. And then me, Gift, and my guy Lou, who introduced me to Gift, we're hanging out, and we decided to do it. You know what I'm saying? Do a project. So we did. The first one was very short. It was only like 7 minutes long, and Gift did that whole one. And then the second one I did with him, and that was more of an album. And then they've kind of progressively gotten more complex and involved since then. So it really just started off as hearing some fire Christmas loops one day and like, let's do it. Find someone that could actually felt me on that vision.
yo, fire. I checked out a few of the joints leading up to I did my research. Cause I had never I knew you, so I had never tried to research you. I researched you. I was like, wow, you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy, the stuff you're doing. Now, have you won a Grammy or you got Grammy nods? I know your name is in the Grammy.
Let me think. I've been Grammy nominated. I'm Grammy nominated this year for Mary J. Blige album. I've been Grammy nominated before for Drake, Scorpion, for Anderson .Paak's Malibu, for Dr. Dre's Compton. And there was a bunch of shit when my first real job in the industry was at a studio in Chicago called Hinge, and we did Lupe Fiasco's first two albums. We did Kanye West Graduation, parts of it, cause we did Flashing Lights, and I forgot what the other record that they did was, but I was like an assistant on those records when I was young. I was 21, 22, just out of school, and kind of figured it out. So I didn't really fight for credits, but I worked on some big records. I worked on some gospel records like the Clark Sisters, some jazz, some Hezekiah Walker, some jazz records, like all types of shit. But I was naive. I was just kind of happy to be in the room, so I wasn't fighting for credits or nothing like that. So I don't count them, but I kind of count them. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been Grammy nominated for them, but even though I wasn't really officially Grammy nominated for them, but officially I've been Grammy nominated like 4 or 5 times. But no wins yet.
I count working in D&D. I mean, that was legendary.
As you should. As you should.
Being in there with you, Preem, being there with everybody, I count that. That was that's an experience. Man. I used to sit there and talk to Primo, normal, that was the room Biggie did Ready to Die in. Jay did out in the room you were working in. That was legendary itself. And being around Joe, I've been around Joe a lot. I was at the BET Awards. I got funny stories of Joe Budden. He'd be in a strip club with a notebook or a laptop. I actually standing behind something you can't believe. You know what I mean?
That used to
But
be his shit.
yeah, that was different, man. But being around those people and seeing the moments, that adds on to it. So yeah, you got to count all that work. I mean, I know how
Absolutely.
you work, so, but I don't think that people know like the greatness, like the Mary J. Blige. That's major, man.
Yeah, it is. It is. I actually I have a whole album that I did with her and the producer DJ Cassidy and D Mile. They're the producers. And one record ended up going on Snoop's last album, and then this one ended up on Mary's album. And there's still like I don't know how many more in the cut. I don't know what's gonna happen with them, but we'll see.
You said something before, right? When you talking about D&D, we was talking about that. And you was like, I quit my job and I started full time. So like, what was the faith behind it that made you believe in yourself? Like, what was it? Because that was big. That's a big, right?
Yeah, yo, I guess I don't really know. I knew I didn't want to work my job no more. I was working in a music store, so it's not like it was like the worst job in the world. But I had to be there at like 9 a.m. I didn't like that shit. They always play with your money. It was like a commission type of job, and they would just move the goalposts all the time to pay you less, basically. So I didn't really have too much to lose, I guess. I was like, man, fuck this. I'm not doing this no more. So I'm already in over here. I'm good. I've been talking to them about figuring out a role for me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take the leap.
That's major, man.
I'm gonna take the
That's
leap. I especially early in my life in that time when I was in my early 20s, I just took chances, yo. Like how, in my opinion, like how do you not? You know what
that
I'm saying? I
that's
didn't have
part of great.
kids. I still don't have kids. So like I have, I'm gonna shoot for the stars.
Yeah, that's part of greatness though. Those risks, no risk, no reward. It's really like that.
Facts.
But
Facts.
that's just amazing, that you say, hey man, I quit. I caught that. I quit my job. Like my platform, right? I call it an audio experience. It's a
Right.
podcast form, but it's audio experience because it's not just podcasting. If I'm somewhere, I might be speaking and give a speech or something. I'll put it on here, or I put interviews I do with when I'm in music mode
Right.
on here, so it's different. But I try to grab people I know that like, I went independent. I had a couple of situations. I was telling artists, I remember I was up in I think I was in Virgin. They had me up in Virgin Records.
Mm-hmm.
Dude was like, yo, man, I like your music. I just need you to rap like Tupac. I remember like I just walked out of there. And like in my mind, like my man was with me and I know he was like, man, why don't you just I'm like, I'm just not that type of guy. That's not me.
Yeah.
I've had that.
Yeah.
I remember the A&R and everything. I don't give out free promotion, but I remember that. It broke my heart. So with you, right?
Yeah.
You built this on your own, man. This
Yeah.
is dependent. That's what it's called Bondzgems. What I do, independence. I was giving back because Parks, man, it's rough when you're independent, brother.
Bro, I've been talking to my man Jack Freeman. He's a R&B singer from Houston about that shit. Bro, I record the songs, I produce at least half of them with Gift, add additional production, I mix them, I master them. I'm the label. I'm coming up with fucking video treatments. I'm looking for
Yeah.
video guys. If the edit ain't right, I'm just working with them on the edit. You know what I'm saying? It's you're doing all the shit. Being indie is tough. I mean, unless you got a monster of a team behind you and someone that's willing to take all that shit off your back and you can trust them to take all that shit off your back, because that'd be the big part is like
Your
finding
team.
someone that you has the vision you trust.
Your team, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't trade it for the world though. I love it.
Well, yeah, and it gives you leverage. I think
Yeah.
that's why you got leverage because you can't really come sideways at you. You built it on your own. You
I
got
do what I want when I want to do it, how I want to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's
that
more fun
freedom.
that way to me.
That freedom. So we go from mixing and producing. Now you got the independent. The guy. Real quick, rewinding back. David Bars, is he with you too, or is he like he just comes in time to time? He comes in
From
time to
time to
time.
time. That's my man. That's my brother. I met him through Showbiz and DITC. Shout out to Showbiz. Shout out to
Yeah,
DITC.
yes, sir.
I met him through him, and he came over one day to my crib, to my studio at the crib, to cut a verse for a feature, a freestyle or something like that. And me and Gift just happened to be working on an album or a song or whatever it was at the time. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck is that?" So that's our shit. He said, "Bet." Put the pen to pad, laid the joint down. All right,
That's
what are we
all.
doing next? So we put up
Yeah,
another one, and eventually, you know what I'm saying, a couple of days of that, we
yeah.
had an album. So, you know what I'm saying, now
I like
we're
that
doing a group.
chemistry, man. I like
We're
that.
doing yeah, it's organic shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that was my man from DITC and D&D days. So it only made sense. And then we also, you know, with Rashid, we have a group called the Co-op that we have a project coming with this coming year. It's already pretty much done. We just gotta, you know, fix a verse here, fix a chorus here, shit like that. But
Yeah,
that should be coming probably late spring, early
that's gotta be
summer,
hard,
something
man.
like that.
That's gotta be hard. Rashid is hard, man. I like his album, man. Album
Yeah, he's so fucking dope, yo.
is dope, man.
And he's a real solid dude, man.
Shout out to Rashid Chappelle, man. My man.
But yeah, that was the point of the Christmas album, though, is to kind of introduce us as like a group, kind of, you
Dope
know,
idea.
introduce people to that.
So you basically got your own label and so much, right?
Kinda, yeah, yo. I mean, I don't like to look at it that way because it's not like.
I mean, you just doing it, man. You know, you're not putting it out there.
I'm just collaborating with people that I fuck with, and you know what I'm saying. Like, it's not like on some. Like Joe often joke on the podcast, like, "Yo, what kind of 360 you got?" People, it's like I don't sign people. People ask me like, "Yo, is so and so signed to you?" It's like, no, I don't sign people. I just fuck with them and we make music and we split the pie up, and then that's that.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely, man.
So it is a label, but it's not a label. You feel me? Like,
yeah. I mean, look, like I said, you've been like I said, I was blessed to meet you from D&D. I watched it, you know, just over the years. Even you taking it from mixing, producing, like I said, running your company, and now podcasting. How do we get there? Like,
I guess it was mostly by accident, kind of. I mean, I was working with Joe when he started the pod, and I was on the couple of the first episodes, but I didn't necessarily envision being like a part of it.
Yeah.
But what happened, man? So
I was working you in, man. I seen it.
Basically, yeah, like
working you in, asking questions, and you would answer. Next thing you know.
Yeah, like that's basically how it went. Because I mean, when it moved to the crib, that's when it became definitely more real. Because it was like the studio they were working at had to close down for whatever reason. I think they did renovations or moved or something like that. So he came to the crib in the meantime, and then it kind of just worked. And I just was kind of chiming in at the beginning, and the role just kind of grew and grew and grew. So I enjoy it. To me, it's just as fun as making music. It's like the same. It's a similar like if you know you rap, you know you're a musician. There's like a certain high you get when you make something dope in the studio. You know what I'm saying? It's like a body, brain, like you just be on some euphoric shit almost. And the podcast gives me that same shit.
I think it's I tell people all the time, I think they ask me, what do you like about music most? I say the creative process, because you go in there and if you watch your producer, you can make a beat from scratch, put lyrics on it, and you look back and you created this from nothing. That's like the best part. So I definitely understand that. Do you enjoy potting?
I love it, yo. I really do.
For people who don't know, you're part of the Joe Budden Podcast. For people don't, like I said, you're like a ghost, man. You're like a legend out here. You know? But yeah, you enjoy it?
I really do. It's a lot of fun, yo. It's like I said, it's still a creative outlet. It's just a different kind of creative outlet, but it still feels rewarding like music does. It's just in a different way. Because you're being creative, you're being funny, you're thinking of, you know, different ways of looking at things and different ways, like, you know, because everyone's confronted with the same news cycle or, you know, situations in life. You got to put your own spin on it though and make it entertaining, whether it's funny or serious or whatever. That is, it's a challenge and it's fun. And it's all my homies, yo. So it's like,
yeah,
you know, the old crew is my homies, the new crew is my homies, the new crew is my homies. So it's like
love.
It's dope, fun.
Man. I just watched I was watching the new one, man, and you called out the number, and I'm like, damn. You know,
and it's crazy because that's only the like public episodes. Like the Patreon, we have probably another. I don't want to date this episode, but we're around 600 right now for the main episode. I bet on Patreon we have another 250, 300.
Yeah, that's amazing, man.
It's crazy, yo.
The work though. Is it a lot of work?
It is. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of work.
Like putting on a TV show almost, right?
Yeah. Because it's not just, you know, at the beginning, I guess it was a little bit less.
as it grew, the responsibilities grew. The
Yeah,
sound
the
got better.
responsibilities grew, and
Set got bigger.
as the
The
audience grows, you got to be more attentive to shit. You got to not say certain shit. You got to be careful how you present things. You don't want to offend nobody, or we have a bit like we've talked about artists. Just something that happened in the news. Without saying any names or anything, something happened to so and so, and then we have an opinion on it, and then that person is calling our phones, and it's like, yo, like you gotta be
yeah,
careful. You don't want to step on someone.
yeah, sensitive times, right?
Yeah, it is. It's tough, yo.
It's
But
different.
but it's cool, yo. It's fun. It's a long day of work though. We be in the studio for like 8, 9, 10 hours.
Yeah, for one pod or multiple ones.
Well, we do a couple a day. So we do the main pod, which might be around 3 hours. Then we do a Patreon or two, which be like 2 hours each minimum. So it'd be
It's
a
work,
long
man.
day, yo.
Yeah, you put the work in. I mean, you
Yeah.
work. Are you guys thinking about a tour? You remember you used to tour the other one.
Yeah, we think about it. We talk about it. I don't know when it's gonna happen. I'm sure it probably will. At least certain dates in certain cities. Back in the day when we used to tour, it was out of necessity, yo. Like we weren't really making that much money, so like that shit was necessary. Now things are, God, thanks to God, are doing well, so we don't have to go out on the road. So kind of if we want to.
Yeah,
So
I think it's a time for it. I guess it's a
yeah, it's a
moment.
time for it. I miss it though. I miss it a lot. Like Preem is going to Europe this week or next week or
Man.
something like that for a gig, and this is one of the first tours of his I've missed out on in a while. And that shit is like, damn, I miss being outside of the crib, outside of the country, outside of the crib. I don't care if it's domestic. I just miss being on the road. So I hope we do, but at the same time, it is exhausting because especially with the pod, we would still record podcasts in like Boston or Texas. We would find a random studio and go record. That shit is a lot.
It seems like it's a lot of work. It's not as easy as people think it is.
Nah, it's not. You know what it is. You've
Yeah,
done enough of this media shit to know that you
it's
gotta you got to study
difficult
before the show. You got to be prepared for the show. You got to have some original thoughts. You got to, you know what I mean? It's not just
and
put some mics up and get to talking
and to be consistent
and to
is
be consistent.
is
Facts.
hard and setting up and getting people there because it's not just you or Joe. It's other entities. You got
Facts.
people there and what the
Facts.
topics are. It's like I said, like a broadcast. But
Yeah.
I watched the new one, so anybody who ever watched it, you could see the set change and
Uh-huh.
lighting change, and
Bruh. That shit
only
ain't no joke at this point. That shit, we got the big fucking four
yeah,
foot lights all over the place and
yeah,
cameras on fucking
yeah.
little
Hey man, next step is
coasters.
like HBO or something, man. TV or
Yeah,
something.
man.
That's the goal, man.
Yeah.
Hey man, that's big congrats on that, brother. Like I
Thank
said,
you,
I didn't
bro.
see that one coming, but I understand where it comes from, and that's greatness, man. That's just another thing for you, man.
I enjoy it. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And I
And
like what you're doing too, man. You're gonna get there too, man. Just stay consistent with it. You
bro,
feel me?
that grind. One thing I learned is that and I just learned this, and I was just sad to say, but you're never too old to learn. You never
Yeah.
take your foot off the gas, man. I don't care
Facts.
what you're going through. Like the grind doesn't care.
Yeah. And it'd be hard sometimes because certain shit don't, you know what I mean?
Life,
Do what you want it to do or whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? With music, with all this shit. You put something out, you think it's the most brilliant, beautiful thing you ever put together in your life, and people don't really hear it or don't feel it or whatever it may be. You gotta just step up and do it again, yo.
real life. I never. A lot of people would tell me that I need to do this type of I'll say podcast audio experience. I never want to, but I do like to. My knowledge comes from talking. Like
Right.
I'll talk to you and pick up something. All right, like I said, you inspired me when I sent you the record. You were like, yo, you can do this, do that, and then that snowballed into something else. So
No doubt.
that's what I try to do this for right here. You
No
know,
doubt.
Bond. I definitely try to get people on the independent side
Yeah.
because we're out here and there's no guide to it.
Yo, and we need. I like doing shit like this because I'm learning shit from you right now, just talking. You know what I'm saying? And whoever's gonna hear this on the other end is gonna learn something. So I
Right.
love that part. You know what I'm saying? Like
I follow you on social media, so you're a Dolphins fan, right?
I am, yo.
What's going on, man? Did y'all make the playoffs? Because I'm a Raider fan, and it's over, man.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's over, bro. Like I ain't listen.
We did make the playoffs. Y'all disappointed the hell. I like the Raiders. One of my best friends is a Raider fan. I got a lot of Raider fans in my circle actually, and I really liked y'all last year. I had y'all winning the division this year because I thought KC was going to have a little bit of an off year, being that they lost Tyreek to us. Yeah. That did not happen. They still them, yo. Like I slept.
Boy, Carr gave his farewell today.
I know. I seen that, yo.
Gave his farewell, man. I don't know, man.
I don't know if I believe that though.
So you're a big Dolphins fan. You guys are in the playoffs though, right?
We are in the playoffs, but we don't have. We're missing 5 of our starting tackles. We've been without 5 of our cornerbacks all year, and we don't have our starting quarterback. Our backup quarterback is banged up and hasn't finished a backup game yet this year. So we got the 3rd string quarterback. It's about to be ugly, but I'm still, you know what I mean? You never know. They say any given Sunday, you never know.
That's right. Any given Sunday. You watch basketball?
I do, but I usually don't really start watching until like after the NFL playoffs. I used to be a big basketball head, but I don't know. I guess I'm a Knicks fan, yo.
Yeah.
I'm a Knicks. I grew up a Spurs fan, but we won a lot of chips, and I'm not from there. So I'm like, all right, you can have that back. Yeah. So, and I always grew up watching the Knicks because that's what we had on, back in the day. You didn't have all the fucking channels and shit. We just had MSG or whatever it was called at that time.
What's your expectations on the Knicks this year, man? Coming.
I mean, I would like to see them at least make the playoffs. I don't know. They be hot and cold too much though, so I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Man,
yeah. I root for all New York teams in every sport though. Even like hockey, I don't follow hockey, but I root for the Rangers. You know what I'm saying? Baseball, yeah. I live in Queens, so I root for the Mets, but I fuck with the Yankees too. You know what I'm saying? Like I root for the Nets. I like seeing the Nets do well, and they're kicking it up since they got Nash out of there. So I'm happy to see that.
Yeah, I mean, the Knicks. Is Derrick Rose still with the Knicks?
You know what? I don't even honestly know. That's how little basketball I watch this year. The only time I put it on is in the background when we're in the studio, and I'm not really paying it no mind.
I got you, man. So before we go, man, like I said, the name of this my platform is called Bondzgems. No doubt. I asked everybody, give me an independent gem, man. Tell me something that we should do, man.
Don't be scared to ask for help. That's been my biggest thing that I'm still trying to get over is finding people, and don't be cheap. You know what I'm saying? Like find some people and spend a couple dollars to get shit done right and to take pressure off what you're doing so you can focus on what you're great at. That's something that's been a hurdle of mine for a long time, and I'm still working on it, but I'm trying to get better at it.
Well, yo, man, I appreciate you taking the time, man. I got that. Always. That's going on. I'm putting that up there, man. And I'm writing that down because I need that. That's one, definitely. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yo, I be trying to do too much, man. And every time it happens,
micromanaging,
or just like scared to. It's not even like I don't trust certain people or whatever, because I trust everyone I be with. But like, yeah, it's micromanaging. You want it to be done the way you want it. You want to do it, but you can't do it all, yo. You can't do it all. No. And you gotta spend a couple dollars sometimes to get it done right, and that's okay too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you gotta invest in yourself, right?
Facts.
Blind faith out here. That's what this is. It's blind faith, man. If you don't,
facts, yo.
If you don't throw the dice, you don't know if you'll win.
That's a fact, and it'd be real easy to try to be like, nah, I could save a couple dollars by doing X, Y, Z, yada, yada, yada. And it's just like, yo, bro, you could have spent a couple $100, you know what I'm saying? Like, give it to someone that has the connects or has the whatever it may be.
Yeah, it only takes a couple moves, man. Yeah, man. I want to thank you, man, for taking the time out to talk to me, man.
No doubt.
Your social media, man. Where can they see you at, man? Because you're a legend, man.
It's Parks Music on basically everything. Parks Sounds on YouTube. We've been doing some streaming shit over there. We're on Twitch, Parks Music. It's Parks Music basically everywhere. And if you go to there, you'll see everything else. So I appreciate you having me here. You know, it's love always, my brother.
Definitely, bro. And I'm gonna tell you, man, the next one I gotta do in person, man. I'm gonna be out here. Man. I'm gonna get my camera, my team together, and we're gonna sit down, man, and kick it.
Yeah, come pull up whenever you want, man.
Do you drink?
I do. I'm actually not drinking this one. Huh?
You drink cognac?
Hell yeah, boy.
Yeah, I gotta. You know, I'm a brand ambassador for Villian Cognacs. I'm gonna bring you a bottle, man.
I never had that before.
Yeah, next time I see you, after this, we're gonna link up. I'm gonna bring you a bottle, man.
Yeah, absolutely, yo. We're yak heads over here, bro. That's what we said.
I'm gonna bring you a bottle. I got cases, man. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna bring you a bottle, definitely.
And I'll definitely support. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the other thing too. I've always done, but I'm trying to be more mindful of because it's easy when your friends are in the business or any type of business, and they'd be like, "Yo, you're not here, yo, hold that. Nah, let me buy that, yo.
Yeah,
I got the $50 or you know what I'm saying for the hoodie. I got the nah.
Yeah.
Don't give it to me. Even if you should give it to me, I'm gonna pay for that. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, man, the next one, man, I'm gonna pull up in person, man. But I appreciate you, man.
Please do, man.
All right.
Love always, bro.
Love, bro. Love, bro.
Peace.